into a special Better in Green Sunday Live. Me and Ethan have been a little AFK the last couple days, or last couple weeks, honestly. I know we hung out a couple weeks ago, and then between traveling, different work things and whatnot, we just haven't been able to do the Monday lives. And then add on, we've both been a little sick the last couple days. So I'm excited to get back. Just a nice little live today, talking through the slate. Excited to talk with you, Ethan. Again, it's been a while. Excited to see you and hear about you. But yeah, we're going to talk through a little PGA. We got a great finish to the PGA Championship today. A lot of dudes in contention, a lot of big name guys in contention. So it should be an interesting Sunday for that. Full slate of MLB. We have 2 Game 7's in the NBA. Very excited about those. I think I already have a decent play for that 3 p.m. game. And then NHL playoffs, no game tonight, but we are almost to the East or to the conference finals. 1 game left before we get into the conference finals. So we'll do a little prediction and stuff for the remainder of the NHL playoffs. But Ethan, how are you, man? Good to see you. I know it's been a while.
Yeah, happy to be back. Yeah, like you said, it's been a couple weeks, I think, since we've jumped on here. So, but you were home, seeing some buddies, family, weddings, stuff like that. Like you said, we've both been sick, so been tough to get on. Plus, it's summer. I mean, just there's a lot more to do in the summer and tougher to get on. But yeah, happy to be back. Yeah, I guess I don't really have much else to say. Might touch on, well, I won't touch on the UFL, but 2 UFL games today, which I've been trying to follow. So if I do have any plays in those games, I'll tweet them out. And then NASCAR, I've been doing pretty well in NASCAR. It is the All-Star race, so I don't know if I'll have any plays today in that either. I might throw some fun money on a driver or two, but yeah, nice slate of sports today.
Yeah, I saw. I know you are a NASCAR guy. I have yet to place a NASCAR bet. I keep saying this is going to be the week that I'm going to tail you, but I saw on I think Twitter or something someone was giving like the betting splits of the NASCAR All Star game, and I was like, okay, NASCAR has an All Star game. That's in itself almost laughable. It's almost as laughable. I played bowling in high school my senior year. My first ever bowling match, they did the national anthem, which I was not prepared for, and was very embarrassed to be there. So it's almost to that category. Throwing the WNBA while you're at it to that category as well. But
I got
speaking of go ahead.
That's bad. Next year they're doing an in-season tournament in NASCAR, which is actually gonna be badass. It's gonna be like head-to-head drivers tournament style. So yeah, I'm actually pretty pumped for it, but never thought I'd see that.
Yeah, there's a first for everything, I guess. Speaking of the WNBA, I know you've been hitting the WNBA decently. I know we both were fading Caitlin Clark in her debut. I wish I faded her in her second game back. I didn't have a bet in that game, but I saw the Fever lost by like 40 points. Clark had 9 points, I think. So, yeah, WNBA might be I think it's very similar to NBA. Just honestly, just fade the public, and you should be doing okay. But yeah, Caitlin Clark is a big fade for me. She'll probably explode one of these games, but most popular player by far, most bet on player by far in the WNBA. So something to definitely keep your mind on to it. But let's get into the slate. What do you want to start with? We got MLB, a buttload of early games, starting at about around 1:30 Eastern time. Again, PGA, I've been watching vividly, not vividly, but just a lot of PGA the last couple of days. We can talk PGA, and then let's save NBA for last because that's probably where we're going to have most of our bets. But where do you want to start?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just quick touch on the WNBA. We kind of joined forces there. I know we were talking before that opening game. You liked Clark under points. I liked the Sun. We ended up both taking both cash. So it's always nice when that works out. But yeah, women's basketball, 9-0 between college and WNBA this year. So it's like you said, it's fade the public. It's go against the storyline. It is tough to find like legitimate public like betting information, I feel like, on the WNBA. But yeah, if you can find it, if you can fade those storylines, I mean, it's pretty profitable. So I by no means am a fan or follower or any of that. But yeah, some money to be made. As far as starting here, we can start with PGA. If that's cool.
Yeah. So the PGA, we got quite the final round ahead of us. We got two guys tied in first. We got Xander Schauffele. Of course, the 1 week I don't bet him. He goes all out. But I did have a ticket on Xander last week, and he got he did okay. I think he went -1 or -2 that final round, but lost by 7 strokes to Rory. And Rory obviously went off. So knowing that I don't have a ticket on Xander, he'll probably finish strong. And if I did, he'd probably collapse. But yeah, Xander and Colin Morikawa are tied for first right now. Sahith Thagala is one back at -14. Then we got a bunch of guys at -13 with Lowry, DeChambeau, Hovland, and then a couple guys at -12. It's a full field here. I will say I do have a couple outrights, and I'm doing okay. I'm feeling okay, and I know I probably just jinxed myself, but I got two outrights that are in that are two back. I have Bryson DeChambeau. I think I got him at +2,800. I also have Victor Hovland that I threw a little sprinkle on at +4,000. They're both at -13. Again, two back from the lead. So I'm very interested with those guys. I have a couple guys that are a little further back. I have Tony Finau at -10, Jordan Spieth at -8, Hideki Matsuyama at -8 as well. Those are probably pretty long shots. Again, I have Scotty Scheffler at -7, and he collapsed yesterday. The one thing I will say with this final round, this course is the most gettable course I've seen in any major. And they were talking about this, that it was going to be one of the harder majors on tour. They said it was going to be it was the hardest par 71 on the PGA Tour. They thought the final score was going to be -7 to -10 range for the final 4 rounds. And then Xander Schauffele went, what did he go? -9 in round 1. We just saw Shane Lowry go -9 yesterday, both tying PGA Tour records, or beating PGA Tour records. So someone's going to go off today. It's so Scotty being 8 back, he technically is not out of it. Yes, he's a long shot. I'm not saying sprinkle him at +30,000 or whatever he is, but it's not ridiculous for him to come a couple strokes within the lead with how gettable this course is and how low the guys are playing. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I definitely don't think Xander's going to win it. I have a really bad feeling that Colin Morikawa is going to come away. I liked Colin, but I did not take him. But yeah, I'm very excited, like I said, about this final round at the PGA Championship. How about you? I know I think you have a couple props on the tournament. Do you have any prediction of how the final round's going to go? And tell us your wagers you got.
Yeah, first off, we do have Snowman in the comments saying, hey. So what's up, Snowman? Happy to have you here. Happy Sunday. And yeah, as far as the tournament goes, I too have Bryson. I took him without Scotty Scheffler, so I got 22 to 1, but I also had a ticket on Scotty, so I was trying to hit the double, and I just feel like if I'm taking it outright, I have to do it without Scotty, just with how well he's been playing. Also just have to say, it's easy to say now, but I was talking to some coworkers on Friday about this. I thought Scotty would do really well Friday after his arrest, and then I thought Saturday he'd fall off because he had some time to think on it. I think it was just he didn't really have time to process everything, so he just didn't know any better. Just go out and play golf like he does best. Yeah, I kind of wasn't so shocked that he struggled yesterday. I think that situation set in a little bit and probably messed with his head entering yesterday. So I think there's a valid reason why he struggled yesterday. You said before the show his first round over par in 42 rounds, I think you said. So not the Scotty we're used to, but I think it's a valid reason. As far as my wagers, well, actually, one last thing I'll say. Xander's kind of your kryptonite right now. Sahith is mine. I bet on the dude. He blows. I don't bet him. He's up in contention here. So I wish I had a wager on him. I do have, like I said, Bryson without Scotty, so 22 to 1, hoping he pulls it out. I think he has as good a chance of anybody. I also have Scotty. That's not going to happen. I have DeChambeau over Koepka, which is looking good, and I had Tiger to miss the cut. I know it's un-American of me, but it was super easy on Friday. He just really struggled. So Yeah, those are what I have so far. Might look to get involved live. We'll see how Bryson starts out, but if he starts struggling and I don't have skin in the game, I might look at Sahith, to be honest with you. I don't trust Xander whatsoever, especially after last week. Yeah, I mean, Morikawa might get it done, but we'll see how it plays out. But yeah, really been loving paying more attention to golf, betting golf. Hoping DeChambeau can hang on and should have a second profitable week or back-to-back profitable weeks in golf.
Yeah, I think I got 7 to 10 units open out there. Again, I have a bunch of outrights and I have a bunch of placements. I don't remember them off my head. I just pinned my tweets over on Twitter of my complete bet slip. I could look at it, but honestly, I have so many units at play. But I think I'm doing okay. Again, hoping someone goes low today on my board. But yeah, I'm excited again. It's going to be a very great Sunday final round over at the PGA Championship in Valhalla, Louisville. Probably never going to host again. Again, you touched on the Scotty thing. If you guys are unaware, Scotty got arrested Friday morning. From my understanding, seemed like a overreaction by law enforcement, miscommunication. It was a lot going on. And I just think, yeah. Anyways, Scotty Scheffler was charged with 4 charges, one being a felony of a second degree assault of a police officer, which is a very, very big crime. That's jail time. That could be potentially months in jail, I believe, possibly even years. I don't know the extent of degrees and whatnot, but assaulting a police officer is never something that that law enforcement takes lightly. Again, was it justified? I wasn't there. I don't know. I can't tell you, but I can tell you from everything I read, everything that ESPN, again, ESPN, but everything ESPN's saying, reporters are saying, different news sites, sound like a over dramatic miscommunication, a lot of confusion. Again, it was really early in the morning. Scotty and the rest of the golfers told that there was an accident, that they were still able to get to the golf club. Scotty was trying to get to the golf club, from my understanding, went over to like the curb or the side of the road, try to bypass these vehicles because he was told he was allowed in. An officer who, again, it was 6 a.m. in the morning. It was dark. It was raining. The officer was wearing the yellow rain gear stuff, which sometimes could look like a crossing guard. Could also, if in the daytime, could look like a police. But again, a little bit of miscommunication. From my understanding, again, I wasn't there. The Scotty was told to stop. He didn't. The cop then proceeded to jump or get dragged by Scotty's car for like 10 yards. And I think that's where the assault of the police officer came. Again, whatever it was, Scotty got back to the course. Charges, I believe, are still open. I think ultimately those will be dropped or reduced. But yeah, crazy day for the world number one. Waking up Friday morning was absolutely insane. Again, you guys probably already heard it, so I'll probably stop with that. But yeah, crazy day. I did have a lot of birdie props on Scotty on Friday. Did make a decent amount of money on Scotty. Unfortunately, I did the same strategy yesterday, and he just was a little off. Like you said, a data process that he actually got arrested. He has pending felony charges. Probably was a lot to think about. And then when the whole field goes super low and you have a couple bogeys, I think he started 4 over par in his first 5 hole or first 4 holes. Just a lot to whatever. But yeah, crazy day in the PGA again. We're very excited for the rest of the tournament. But yeah, anything to add before we jump into the MLB today?
Yeah, I mean, all I'll really say is I get like you can be the best at your sport, one of the best ever, and you're still a dude, you're still an average guy, but what's the world number 1 golfer doing driving himself to the golf course for a major? Just seems like something that he wouldn't be doing, that he could probably find a driver to avoid stuff like that. So I don't know, maybe in the future that's something that will be changed. I mean, I get it if you're some no name, lower level PGA guy, but he's number 1 in the world. I mean, I don't know. If they already had word that there was an accident, maybe let someone else drive. And I don't know. Just thought it was kind of weird, but I get they're people, they want to live a normal-ish life. And so, yeah, it's just interesting.
Yeah, and I know like at Augusta for the Masters, I know a lot of the guys stay on or near the property, so they drive themselves because they have golfing houses, and I'm sure it's probably similar at all majors. So maybe he thought he was 1 or 2 miles away. Let me just I've been doing it every single major. It's no big deal. It's
Right.
5-6 a.m. in the morning. There's not going to be anyone there. Again, unfortunately, pedestrian was killed, caused a huge traffic thing. A lot of law enforcement there. So yeah, in the future, I doubt Scotty ever drives himself ever again to any golfing tournament, no matter how close his hotel or his house is that he's staying. So, also just important to note when you're that famous, probably just have a driver. Just
Yeah.
pay him, $1,000 a tournament and whatever. Yeah, you're good to go. Yeah,
Your caddy's making bank. Why can't he just drive? Just make him drive.
Exactly. or his swing coach or something.
Something.
Yeah, seemed a little crazy, but again, I can talk golf all day. I will be live betting golf as well. If you want to follow me along, I'll be updating those on TikTok and Twitter. I got this new subscription to this live golf betting app. It's done me pretty well. Shows you like edge and whatnot. So I will be live prop betting today. Unfortunately, I did have a bet on Jaeger to bogey 5, par 5, double bogeyed 6, double bogeyed 4. So unfortunate on that. But yeah, let's get into the MLB. We got a lot of games. First game up starting at 1. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games starting all before 2:35 p.m. Eastern time. So a lot of daytime baseball. If you are looking for some baseball bets, I am just opening up the board right now. So this is my first time actually seeing the MLB slate. Is there anything, I know you haven't looked into it much, but is there anything you're looking at so far, or do you just want to quickly take it important games one at a time?
There's nothing that I love. Well, I just will say, just to get it out there, I'll probably jinx myself, but absolutely rolling in baseball. Kind of like unlike any sport I've really ever had to open up a season. I did go 0-3 on Friday, but before that, I think I was 29-14, so like 68% over a fairly decent sample size. So I think, yeah, now 29-17, so still pretty good there, but trying to pick my spots, trying not to unload on a daily basis. Trying just to stick with what works. Obviously, like I said, Friday, I liked every spot I bet. Just didn't come to fruition there, but the games I'm kind of looking at, I kind of think the Blue Jays are a decent play. It's -110. It's a pick'em game. They're at home. They're trying not to get swept at home by the Rays. They have a very winnable match or series up next against the White Sox before heading to Detroit to play 4 games and then heading to Chicago again to play the White Sox. So there's a lot of winnable games up on their schedule. I think it would help their confidence to avoid a home sweep against the Rays, which is also a very gettable team this season. So I don't know if I'll end up betting that. I might use the up 2 prop on the Blue Jays, but I think they're going to come out with a lot of focus today and try to get that win. I think it means more to them than the Rays today. And then I kind of like the Braves. They're -120 against the Padres at home. Game got rained out yesterday, so this is only the second game of their 4-game series. They have a doubleheader tomorrow. They lost the first game to San Diego 3-1. Yeah, the Braves are the better team. That's no question there. Yu Darvish is on the mound for San Diego, which he's good. He's having a pretty good year. 3-1, 2.43 ERA. But I don't know. He's kind of that big name that isn't quite what he used to be, and I feel like over the course of the year he might be a decent fade pitcher. Yeah, I don't know if I'll get there on either of those plays, but those are 2 leans that I'm looking at.
Yeah, and if you guys do want our full baseball plays, we will tweet those out usually right before game time. I know I try to get them out a little ahead of time. I will have a couple MLB plays today, nothing locked in yet. And also for those listening and watching, if you do have questions on a game or have picks of your own, please let us know in the comments in the chats, because we would love to see those as well. The one that I'm just looking at, and again, this is kind of my motto in all sports betting, but I really like fading great pitchers in the MLB. I know it's pretty crazy. It's a weird weird strategy, but I just love fading the kind of the underdog, the non-public play, and especially when the line is somewhat reasonable. So, for example, we have the Mariners and Orioles today. The Orioles are, according to DraftKings, minus 148. That's not crazy. You know, I can see a lot of people dumping Orioles minus 148. It's a pretty low price for Corbin Burnes on the mound. He's been phenomenal this year for the Orioles after a not so great season last year. So they're minus 148 with Corbin on the mound. The Baltimore Orioles playing against the Mariners. Again, little rocky start for Seattle. Seattle does have Kirby on the mound, who, in my opinion, is their ace as well. So I can get one ace against another ace. I'm going to take the plus 124. So I really like the Mariners. Also a great opportunity for the DraftKings up 2 promo on that one as well. I only do the up 2 promo on the underdogs. I had the Rockies like 2 or 3 days ago against the Padres, I believe. They went up 5-0 in the third. You know, you're cashing right there. It was plus 220, I think it was. So I do like using the underdogs with the up 2 promo bet. So I am having my eye on that Mariners bet. I'm also seeing, again, this is just DraftKings stats, 85% of the money or 85% of the bets coming in on Baltimore money line. Again, minus 148 is not that ridiculous of a price. As soon as you start getting up to minus 175, minus 200 in a baseball game, that's a big no-no for me. But I think a lot of people are going to jump on that minus 150 Orioles bet. So I do have my eye on the Mariners today. Besides that, I haven't looked at much. I did win the Tigers money line yesterday. I'd be tempted to take the under today in the Tigers Diamondbacks. The first 2 games of this series have been exploding on offense. Game 1 was, I believe, 15-0. And for the Tigers, game 2 was 8-3 for the Tigers. Again, that's 15 and 11 runs. Total keeps going up. 2 great pitchers. We have Matt Manning for the Tigers, again, through a combined no-hitter last year. We also have Jordan Montgomery for the Diamondbacks, who I believe was on the Cardinals last year, but great pitcher as well. Over is, I think, over juice at 8.5. I'd be tempted to take that under in that game. Besides that, again, the ESPN game, I always have a bet on that Sunday night ESPN game. We, again, like you said, Padres, Braves. I'll have something in that game. I'm just not sure at the moment what it is. Again, probably, stay tuned on Twitter for that one. Besides that, I might sprinkle in a couple other plays. There's nothing that's looking great for me. I will say the next time Paul Skeens pitches, I will be 100% fading him. I know he had 11 Ks, 0 hits in 6 innings. They pulled him. Obviously, he's a young pitcher. You don't want to risk overproduction for a young guy, but he had opportunity, had no hitter with 11 Ks through 6 innings. I am 1,000% fading him his next start. That line is going to be overjuiced. I love the spot doesn't even matter if he's playing. I don't even know who the worst team is this year. Who was the White Sox? Yeah, I don't really care. I'll be fading him regardless. But yeah, I might have 1 or 2 other plays, but yeah, primarily focus on our next subjects here in the WNBA, or sorry, NBA, not the WNBA. Good heavens. Yeah, anything else on MLB before we kick off our NBA sport here?
Yeah, I'll just piggyback what you said about playing the dog on the up 2, which oftentimes coincides with the road team, which I always like doing anyway. I had the Pirates on Thursday. They weren't a huge dog, plus like 105, I think, or 110. 2-run shot, top of the first. The Cubs didn't even have a chance to bat. I already won that bet. So super nice when it's that easy. But yeah, usually coincides. The underdog is the road team, so it works out nicely. And when you get lucky like that, it's pretty nice. But last thing I'll also say, I just don't know when to jump in on I'm not a totals better really in baseball, but over 7.5 in the Twins Guardians game. I don't hate that. Both pitchers have a above 4 ERA, 4.89 for the Twins, 4.34 for the Guardians. The issue is the Twins' bats have just been ice cold. They've lost 5 games in a row, and they have 7 runs over those 5 games. But the Guardians are actually hitting pretty well. They got shut out and had a game where they only had 3 runs. But other than that, they put up 11, 7, 7, and 7. So they're batting pretty well. 2 pitchers that aren't super hot. And the Twins bats, they just have to wake up at some point. So my gut is telling me that game's going to go over. I just don't know if I'm going to jump in. I'm just not a huge totals bettor in baseball.
Yeah, the one thing I do like in totals, especially in MLB, is it's very basic, but I think a lot of bettors like myself or just novice bettors you can go on ESPN, you can look at the matchup, you can look at then the pitching matchup against how the lineup plays that pitcher. And if you see like I don't have an example, but there was one the other day, I forget the team, but if the opposing team has like a bunch of like batting over 400, 500 against this pitcher, multiple home runs, and the total's at 7.5, seems way too obvious sometimes to take the over in that. So I do like taking, that's kind of my edge in unders, I guess. If you see like a 7.5 total, then you look at the pitching matchup compared to how those batters play those pitchers. And you see multiple home runs, multiple batters hitting over 400 or 500 with multiple at bats. I love taking the under in that situation. Again, a not so obvious bet, which if you've been watching us for any amount of time, you know that's kind of me and Ethan's kind of motto in sports betting. The not so obvious, the ugly play. Got to remember it's ugly for a reason, right? And not a great bettor, but sometimes it hits, and when it hits, you feel like a genius. So yeah. All right, let's get into the game 7s in the NBA. Our first game up here, great game, great series. It's at 3:40 p.m. Eastern time. We have the Pacers at the Knicks, game 7. Knicks are a 3.5-point favorite at home, over under 208. Knicks are minus 160 on the money line. Again, this is according to DraftKings. It might vary on different books. I'm seeing the Knicks obviously are the public favorite here. According to DraftKings, 68% of the bets on the money line, 69% of the bets on the spread at minus 3.5, 79% of the bets on the over of 208.5. God, I love this. I love this series. I think I'm going to lean the Pacers, and I know that might sound crazy, but I don't know. I really like the Pacers. I think they're going to give it a battle. The over seems so freaking obvious. I think both teams are going to just, it's been a high-scoring series anyways. You add into the fact that it's game 7, a lot of competing. I think the over is a very obvious bet, but you also got to remember it's also game 7. Game 7s are notorious under bets in the NBA, NHL. So keep that in mind as well. So, but yeah, I think the Knicks are going to battle. Right now I'm leaning the Pacers. I think they're going to battle. I think they're going to hang in there. 3.5 seems like a very ugly bet to take Indiana at, but I'm leaning the Pacers. And then as of right now, my gut play would be the under in this one. How about you?
Yeah. This is tough. I lean the Pacers too, but I think New York ultimately wins. So I just don't know if I'm going to thread that needle. I mean, I think it comes down to Brunson's the best player on the court, and he has the ability to take over games. It's in New York. They're kind of just fiending for a New York basketball championship. It's something they haven't had in a while, and I don't know. It just the public money, the public I can't think of the word, but where the public is at is making me lean Indiana plus the points. But I do just think the Knicks ultimately win this game. I don't know if I'll be able to bet this one, and unfortunately, I won't really be able to watch it. I play a volleyball league on Sundays, and our game is like right during this game, so I'm bummed that I'm going to miss most of this game. But yeah, I don't know. It should be a good game. I just don't know if I'm going to have money on it.
I will say this. Last night, the Thunder Mavs game, I knew I was going to take the Thunder on the spread, which was 3.5. But I was like, you know what? If the Thunder are going to cover, they're going to win. I might as well just take them the money line. At the end, I stopped myself, took them on the spread plus 3.5. What happened? The Mavs won 117, 116. So thank God I changed my mind there. But it's crazy how that works sometimes. But yeah, I have a hard time seeing the Knicks lose as well. Yeah, I don't know. There's going to be a lot to think about this game. Also, the totals in these NBA playoffs, the public has to be making so much money on these totals. 100%, 1000%, the correct play as a bettor, just looking at the numbers, is the under in this game. 1000%. If you're taking the over, that is mathematically the wrong play if you're a sports bettor. And if you're just looking at the numbers, just looking at the stats, just looking at the betting splits, 1000% the wrong play. Is it going to hit? Probably. The totals in the NBA have been so lopsided towards the public that I'm just not sure that I can get there. But as a bettor, I'm looking at the numbers here, and I'm loving the under. Obviously, that it just has not been working for me. And then getting into the next game, the total's at 198. Like, I'm already seeing 84% on DraftKings is on the over in that game. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that the correct play in that game is the under. Am I going to bet it? I don't know, just because the unders have not been doing well in the NBA for me, even though it is the correct play. So, yeah, if you want as a betting, the correct betting play according to the splits is the under in both those games. Am I going to bet it? I don't know. Probably, but I don't know. That's kind of been pissing me off in the NBA because there's definitely a right side. The spreads, however, have been hitting better for me from the betting standpoint of looking at the numbers, looking at the splits. That actually has been working better than the total. But yeah, the two correct plays in both these NBA games are the under in the Knicks and the under in the Nuggets. Those are the correct plays according to the betting splits, according to what's going on. Am I going to bet those? I'm not sure. But do you have anything else on the Pacers Knicks? Again, I will have a bet in this game. I'm not sure what it is. I will tweet it out over on my Twitter. That is at Worst Bets. I'll tweet it out sometime before game time. But right now, my lean is the Pacers on the spread as well as the under in that game. I haven't been having a whole lot of luck in player props either, so I'll probably stay away from player props. But yeah, those are my two leans in that game. Anything else before we move on to the second game 7 between the T-Wolves and the Nuggets?
Yeah, I'm kind of going to contradict myself a little bit here, but Jalen Brunson points is 34.5. Like you just said, the under is absolutely the play. I think this is a tight defensive game. I would lean under on Brunson on those points, but if it's competitive like it should be, I mean, he has the capability to completely take over a game and go, 15 straight points just by himself. So I don't know. 34.5 is so high. I know he's been going over like every other game basically, but yeah, I don't know. If this is going to be a lower scoring game like we think it is, it's a lot of points in a 200-point game. So it'd be a look. And, Brunson over points has to be one of the most public bet props of the day. So I don't know.
The one I'll say, if you are looking for, DraftKings offers a risk-free same-game parlay every single day in the NBA, but both in it's kind of a bet, both in the Pacers Knicks game and in the T-Wolves Nuggets game. You can take Brunson and the under in both to get like ridiculous odds, Brunson and Ant-Man 40 plus and the under, and you get ridiculous odds. Obviously, are they going to score 40 points in the game? When they do. They have had 40-point games, and the total is, right around 200, 210. Like, they're, especially for the T-Wolves, Ant-Man is really the only scorer on the Timberwolves. Kind of same thing with the Knicks. Brunson's the only scorer besides Dante DiVincenzo or whatever his name is. But, yeah, so it is doable for both those guys to score 40 and to be a low-scoring game. Something to keep in mind. DraftKings offers ridiculous odds for the same game parlay when you do both those combined, more than usual. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, second game, T-Wolves, Nuggets. Nuggets are a 5-point favorite at home. Over under, like I said, 198. The lowest total I've seen in a long time. I think one of those Heat. I don't even remember who the Heat played. One of those, I think, was at 197.5, 196.5. But yeah, 198. Again, like I said, right off the bat, screaming under. How obvious is it to take over of 198, especially when you know that this game's probably going to be tight. It's going to come down to probably a lot of fouls at the end of the game. I love the under. I also like the T-Wolves at the +5. How about you?
Yeah, those would be my leans too. I really kind of like Minnesota. That's probably my favorite play in the NBA today. Now I really hope Denver wins. I got Denver 16-1 when they went down 0-2 in this series to win the championship. And really, I have money on the Knicks. I have money on them. I actually do have a little money on Minnesota, not a ton. But I think Denver has the best chance of beating Boston, who I don't have money on. So I kind of want Denver to win. But yeah, I think Minnesota's the play. Denver is a little bit of the public side. I think they'll become more of the public side throughout the day. And that spread, I think there's honestly going to be some reverse line movement. I think it gets down to like 3.5 by tip off here. So I think if you can get the 5 now, if you're on that side, I'd probably do it. Yeah, I think Minnesota keeps it close. Wouldn't shock me whatsoever if they win. I think Denver's obviously really only the favorite because they're at home, and I don't think they have a 5-point home court edge. So I think Minnesota's the play. I think it's a pick'em game. I'll be rooting for Denver to pull it out by a couple points, but I think Minnesota keeps it within 5.
Yeah, going to be a great game. Honestly, both games are going to be great. Just a reminder of who each of these teams play next. We will have the conference finals next. The winner of the Pacers and the Knicks will play the Celtics, and the winner of the T-Wolves and the Nuggets will play the Mavs. I know we are both on the Mavs before this started as well. I kind of thought it was going to be the Mavs year. This is, I think, their first time in the conference final in a long time. But they just beat out the Thunder last night. Celtics are looking like everyone's favorite. I think Celtics right now are -200 to win it all. Don't take that, but that just shows you the favoritism towards the Celtics. But yeah, I do think, I don't know. I think the Knicks or the Pacers have a decent shot at competing with the Celtics. And again, the winner of the T-Wolves Nuggets, I think, has a very good shot at beating Dallas. But yeah, according to the odds, and honestly, in my opinion, the Celtics are the team to beat. Are they 2,000 or -200 value? No. But yeah, quick reminder of the remainder of the NBA playoffs. We'll have more bets coming later today. Again, follow us on Twitter for those NBA official bets. Yeah, and then no NHL today, but we can quickly touch on the NHL. What we got in the playoffs. Again, we are a couple games away. We are a couple games away from, or one game away from the conference finals on that one. We have the Eastern Conference Final is between the Rangers and the Panthers. And then the Western Conference Final is between the Stars and the winner of the Oilers and the Canucks. Oilers-Canucks Game 7 is tomorrow. Oilers are already a -142 money line on the road. So keep that in mind. But yeah, first of all, do you have any prediction in that Game 7? And then from there, who's your winner right now to win it all?
Yeah, so similarly to the NBA, I do have a lot of futures. I have futures on the Rangers, the Panthers, the Stars, and the Oilers. The Canucks are the only team I don't have any futures on. I have pretty good money on all of the other 4, so was super pleased with the Oilers win last night. Need the Oilers to win Game 7. I think they'll do it. But honestly, all year, the 2 futures I put in the beginning of the year, Stars, Rangers, I'm going to keep rocking it. I think the Stars and Rangers go to the Stanley Cup final. I think the Rangers win it all. They just have such a good, they have stud defensemen, a stud goalie. They have scorers. They have depth. They have enforcers. They just have really everything. Good coach. I just think they put all the pieces together. They have young guys. They have vets on the team. So I just think they really have a Stanley Cup formulated team, and I think it's going to pay off this year. I think they're going to win it.
Yeah, that game 7. First of all, I think the value is going to be on the Canucks. Am I going to bet it? I'm not sure. I was on the Canucks honestly last night, and that did not work out well. But again, I do think the value is probably going to be on the Canucks in that game 7 tomorrow night. But yeah, in my prediction to win it all, I honestly kind of like that Panthers Rangers series is going to be great. Like you said, both teams kind of full teams, great goalies. I think Kachuk is one of the best players in the league. Does not get talked about a lot, and people talk about McDavid, McKinnon. Everyone kind of leaves out Matthew Kachuk, whatever his name is. I love watching him play. He is so fun to watch, and he himself is kind of an enforcer, which is not very well seen as a forward in there, as one of the leading goal scorers in the league. He likes to get down and dirty. But yeah, both teams, I think there's gonna be a lot of fights. I think there's gonna be a lot of unders in that series. Again, two great goaltenders. I think two of the best in the league. Leave out Dallas, but two great goaltenders, very physical teams. A lot of fights, a lot of unders. Really excited for that series. I think the Panthers are going to pull that one out. And then the Stars and the winner of this Canucks Oilers is going to be a very lopsided series in regards to play style. Both the Oilers and the Canucks, very high scoring teams. Not a whole lot of defense. It's basically USC college football for those teams. Then you got Dallas, who is all defense, and Wyatt Johnston is one of the most up and coming young guys in the league. He is very fun to watch. But defensively, they're crazy. I'm going to have to go with the defense. I'm going to have to go Dallas winning the West there. Again, defense wins championships. You can't make a living off of just offense in general. So I'm going to take Dallas against the Panthers. Again, that final would be I'm probably going to take every single under if that is the finals. And I'm going to have the Panthers win it all. I just love watching them play. They are very physical. They beat up Boston, even though that series got closer than what it was. They physically abused Boston that entire series. And Boston used to be kind of that rough team and physical team, and I think Panthers are kind of taking that role over. I just think they're a very scary team, very physical team, and I'm going to have them probably come down to a game 7 against Dallas. We're taking it all. We do have Ben in the comments, either Rangers or Panthers taking the cup this season. Also, shout out to Bobby hitting a plus 300 method last night. Big MMA UFC last night. If you didn't check that out, make sure you do. Bobby and Ben are doing God's work over there at Tapping Vegas, one of our Better in Green shows. With the lack of sports and lack of entertainment in the other leagues, MMA and UFC is on an upswing, and Bobby and Ben are doing a great job over at Tapping Vegas, giving you guys their best plays, their best insights. So if you are looking for some UFC content, make sure you do check out Tapping Vegas. Also, we're at 678 followers, trying to get that up to 1,000 come NFL season. So if you are listening, please like and subscribe, especially on YouTube. We really appreciate it. It helps us keep doing this, and we appreciate it. But I'm psyched for the NHL. Unfortunately, we're just coming down to where it used to be a game every day in both NBA and the NHL. Unfortunately, it's going to come down to 2 or 3 games a week. Well, no, 3 to 5 games a week. So there will be a couple of days off, which again leaves opportunity for other sports like baseball. Again, on the weekends like UFC, golf. So just stay tuned for a couple of these other sports, not so bet sports, but we are covering everything. We did not touch on the Preakness that happened yesterday, but the Triple Crown is no longer in. It's no longer available. I believe the Gray Horse won. I forget his name, but the Gray Horse won the Preakness. I believe Mystic Dan came in 2nd or 3rd. So Triple Crown is off the table. But Ethan, do you have any other? I know you have a couple NASCAR plays. Do you have anything else on the NHL, NBA before you get into a little NASCAR and before we close out for the day?
Yeah, I actually don't. And I'm just going to let you close. I just got to run really quick.
Okay.
So I'll be right back, but if you just want to close out.
Yeah.
And then, okay, I'll just be right back.
Okay, sounds good. Well, we appreciate you guys for hanging out on a Sunday. Again, make sure you do follow us over on Twitter. Make sure you do subscribe over on YouTube as well. We will be posting our MLB plays later today. Again, full slate of MLB, 2 game 7s today, NBA. have my leans that I said in this live, but we will have our official plays out on Twitter. And then NHL, we have Game 7 tomorrow between the Canucks and the Oilers. Make sure you stay tuned for that. And then, as always, I will be live betting PGA because why the hell not? It's Sunday. What else am I going to do? So I'll be live betting some golf. Also, we have a great finish in store for us in that PGA Championship. 2 guys tied for first, 2 guys, 1 guy behind, 1 stroke behind, a lot of guys 2 or 3 strokes behind. So it's going to be a great finish to the PGA. Make sure you do tune into that. I know golf isn't the most exciting sport to watch, but this is probably going to be one of the more exciting finishes of the year in golf. So if you want a little bit more entertainment when watching golf, tune in today. It's going to be great. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. Again, make sure you do like, subscribe, follow. We are trying to get to that 1,000 subscribe mark on YouTube in time for NFL season. We appreciate you guys. Happy Sunday. And yeah, enjoy. Hopefully you guys make some money. Enjoy the rest of the day. Killing it on the PGA. Thanks, Ben. I appreciate it, brother. Yeah, have a good rest of your day. Summer is coming, so make sure you do stay tuned. We are working on our fantasy guide. Fantasy football content is coming. So stay tuned for that. Can't wait for football season. Good luck, everyone. We'll see you guys. Scheffler is a bad boy. But in order to be the best, you got to beat the best. And Tiger did it. And he, I think, beat his wife. Just kidding. But his wife beat him. Scheffler has beat the cops. So you got to have some sort of storyline if you want to be go down as the greatest of all time. But yeah, Scheffler, love the guy. Unfortunately, did not have a great day yesterday. He needs a miracle to stay in contention today. But it's doable on this course. It's one of the more gettable majors I've ever seen. We already have 2 -9s. I believe that's 2 62s on the weekend. Xander got it on Thursday, and Shane Lowry just got it yesterday. So it is doable to go 9-10 under on this course. Obviously, Scotty is going to need that in order to win, which is very unlikely. But yeah, Scotty is a definition of a bad boy now. So we need to get those T-shirts out of his mother. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you do follow us on Twitter. We'll be posting our official plays over there. And again, please like, subscribe, share on YouTube. We appreciate you guys. Happy Sunday.